Hey guys, and how about we watch a death battle, Wolverine versus Raiden. So of course make sure to click here. I gotta do it again now.
No, that was fine. Keep going.
Make sure you go to the official release, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, then come back here and we'll watch it together. Alright, so, both of us have avoided well, I'm really the only one who needs to try to avoid spoilers for death battles, but I was successful, so I don't know who won this fight. However, I really only know Wolverine, and from what I know of Wolverine, I already think that he has this. And I'm not going to say he's going to win yet, because again, Raiden could surprise me.
I still don't know what a Raiden is.
Yeah,
it sounds like the improper form of ride. Like, I feel like if you... What's it, conjugate? No, that's another thing.
Are you thinking
No.
Gerund?
No, that's...
I'm wondering if you mean riding as in that.
Forming a word. Go anyway. Linguistics aside.
Okay,
I don't know what that is.
Raiden dirty, got it. And it also, by the way, is pronounced Raiden in Japanese as opposed to the Raiden Mortal Kombat, which should also be. I just want to point that out because people gave me so much flack on that other death battle. But yeah, you don't know Raiden.
No idea.
I don't know Raiden. We've never played Metal Gear games, but we do know a little bit about Wolverine. So like, yeah. Have you read Wolverine comics or anything?
Not any of his specific runs. I mainly read some of the older X-Men and grew up on the old like X-Men Evolution and the 90s X-Men cartoons. So that's mainly what my knowledge is off of, and then the movies as well, ignoring Wolverine Origins because anything past the first half hour, I just pretend doesn't exist.
That Deadpool thing still bothers me.
Yeah, that was just... I'm glad they're fixing it with Ryan Reynolds now. So, yay Deadpool.
And that'll be great. So from Wolverine, like, what are some of the coolest or best feats that you can think of that might help him here?
The biggest thing is the whole regeneration. I think the fact that... I know there's been a few things they've said can kill him, like fire potentially can because it can burn him fast and it can heal, so it could potentially burn up and stop that way. I've heard some things where it says like suffocation is a possibility because if his brain is going to have oxygen, that could kill all the cells. But then in First Class, I think it was, he was underwater.
No, Days of Future Past. I was
Sorry,
actually going to ask about that because at the end, he's underwater.
They had him underwater for a while, so I don't know. I mean, it's Marvel Universe. They kind of change the rules.
They can do what they want. I mean, yeah, just given his powers though, just the regeneration first off. Yeah, that's a big.
I think that's a big one. It's just going to be really hard to kill him.
And then but that alone, awesome. And then he has the adamantium skeleton, and and technically, there could possibly be something in the Metal Gear universe that could combat that.
Otherwise, it's just vibranium, which, again, Marvel Universe, which is only in the Kingdom of Wakanda. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Black Panther world. So I don't know if, Metal Gear Solid has something similar. But otherwise, I mean, the most they can do is a flesh wound. They're not going to be able to dismember him. I mean,
it's hard. It's hard when, like, one material only exists in one universe, which I think we talked about in Vader vs. Doom, too.
Yeah.
Because they kind of have to bridge the gap. Be like, well, this has the same qualities, and so it probably works about the same.
But overall, I feel like anything that Raiden's going to do, is just going to be stalling, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of how it seems with Wolverine.
And I'm sure that Raiden is a, BAMF character in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I just think with what he's up against, I mean, I said I wouldn't say I think Wolverine's going to win without watching the analyses, but without watching, I do think he's going to win.
That's what my money's on.
Yeah. I don't know, do you have anything more to say, or should we just get started?
No, let's just go for it.
Okay, let's go. And go! Alright, going.
Here we go.
So, death battle, Wolverine versus Raiden, and begin.
Long-range weaponry are effective tools of destruction, but there's just something special about killing up close and personal with a blade. Like Wolverine, the vicious anti-hero of the X-Men.
And Raiden, the deadly cyborg ninja from Metal Gear.
That's right.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
Which
our
I think
job
I knew
to
that
analyze
much
their
from
weapons,
something.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
3D. I like 3D animations.
It's nice.
Yeah.
3 scratches, 3 claws. This is the mark of the Wolverine.
But before he was the poster boy of the X-Men, he was born James Howlett in 1886.
Oh, greater than
And he was the wimpiest kid ever. He was tiny and pathetic and sick all the time, but little James wasn't stuck in bed for too long.
As he grew up, James started to develop mutant powers, which gave him animal senses and rapid healing. But when the family groundskeeper Thomas Logan murdered his father,
Not Wolverine.
James learned he had a more lethal power hidden within.
Retractable bone claws?
Creepy.
Old Thomas never knew what hit him, or
Does that mean he has
specifically
extra
what
bones then?
stabbed him
I
to death.
guess, yeah.
But Thomas used his dying breath for the oh-so-original plot twist. I'm your father.
Going from 2 dads to 0 in a matter of seconds.
Surprise.
Anyway, James took on the name Logan to poorly hide his identity and ran away from home with his childhood friend Rose.
I did forget about that. the
Then
name
he
change.
accidentally stabbed her to death too. Damn, those things seem really inconvenient, like a murder erection. Always popping up when you least expect it.
You should probably see a doctor. With his healing ability slowing his aging, Logan has lived over 100 years. He fought in both World Wars and Vietnam before joining a special weapons project called Weapon X. This is where he took the name, the Wolverine.
But like almost every other secret project ever, it was actually yet another horrifying super soldier project.
Oh, no.
Well,
As they all are,
Wolverine
you know.
enjoyed such treatments as being cut open repeatedly, having his DNA harvested, and getting his skeleton a pimped out chrome job.
Against Logan's will, a scientist named Dr. Cornelius infused his bones with adamantium, a rare man-made metal alloy. Adamantium is extremely dense and stable on a molecular level,
I don't know.
making it reportedly indestructible. Even Thor has a hard time breaking it.
And
Oh, but he
Dr.
can break it.
Scientist also hypnotized Wolverine to erase his memories and turn him into an animalistic killing machine. The result? Well, Wolverine went crazy and slaughtered everyone at Weapon X. So I guess you could say the experiment turned out to be a complete success. Good job,
Yeah,
everybody.
good for them.
Did well.
Well, yeah.
After wandering the wilderness and
Also, yeah.
tangling with the Hulk, Wolverine was eventually discovered by the X-Men, who molded him into a real
You fought with the
hero.
Hulk before? then?
Logan had finally found a place to call home, and a family he did not stab to death.
Old Wolvie's got more mutant powers than Kim Kardashian has butt injections. He has keen animal-like senses and expert tracking skills, can move faster than the eye can see, and can lift
know
up
that
to
part.
2 tons. His adamantium claws can cut through almost anything, and conveniently, he never has to sharpen them. He's immune to disease, can resist mind control, and can fight for days without tiring. Oh, and for some reason, he can sense animals' feelings and talk to them.
All right.
Some sort of bear whisperer.
He's equal in hand-to-hand combat with Captain America, and was skilled enough to tag Speed Demon, who runs faster than the speed of sound.
Despite all of this, his greatest attribute is his sheer durability.
Ah.
He's like super rock.
Do you know what that's from?
Wolverine has survived hits from Thor and the Hulkbuster, battled with Satan himself, and was once blown up with nothing left but his adamantium skeleton.
Think that stopped
Nothing
him?
left?
Hell no. He got back up and
So we
beat
can
the
get
hell
his
living
heart and
shit out
muscles
of
and
the
everything
emo
back?
Bomberman who blew him up in the
Yes.
first place. Jesus Christ. Can anything stop this guy?
Well, technically he has died a few times. He even used to have a deal with the Angel of Death to be resurrected should his healing factor ever be overtaxed. But eventually he gave it up in exchange for his soul. Yeah, this actually happened.
Okay.
However, according to Professor Xavier, leader of the X-Men, Wolverine's healing factor stems from his brain. Ah? Get it? Stem? Like
Oh.
brainstem?
Thank you,
Yes,
Wiz.
I'm the funny one. Just stick to me, Corey.
Aw. Anyway, this means Wolverine
look,
can
yeah.
be killed by drowning or destroying his brain. But seeing as his brain's protected by a thick adamantium skull, it's probably staying where it is. Still, there's a reason why Logan keeps getting into bad situations like these.
Fought
He's
Spock?
a lone wolf and doesn't like
Did you
relying
see that?
on others.
And he's
He looked
got
down
a
at the
bit of a
moon.
temper.
Oh.
Tell Cyclops I made him a convertible.
Piss him off too much, something snaps and Wolverine will enter the Berserker Rage.
In this state,
Aw,
Wolverine
nice.
loses
It's like
all
Beast.
self-control and ignores all pain, as he is consumed by the animalistic killer instinct that's still deep within him by Dr. Cornelius all those years ago.
So is there a full-out anime?
My stars.
He's angry.
It is.
All right, Raiden's turn? Yep.
Yeah.
Born in Liberia, a young boy named Jack lost his parents and was adopted by George Sears, the future president of the United States.
Which sounds like a pretty good upside considering, except Sears was actually solid as Snake, a traitor who manipulated world leaders to profit from the war economy. Oh, and the fact that he killed Jack's parents. I'm your dad now.
Being the perfect parent he is, Solidus enlisted Jack in the Liberian Civil War.
Of course.
Where he became captain of his own commando
Sounds about
unit
right.
in the Army of the Devil.
Oh,
It's an army
It's
of...
not an actual army of devils.
Oh, damn it.
A natural harbinger of death, Jack's high kill count earned him the nickname
No, don't
Jack
do it.
the Ripper. He accomplished all of this, and he was only 10 years old.
Oh my god, could you imagine this kid during puberty? If it ever even hits. I mean, even 10 years later, he still looks like he's waiting for the old stones to drop.
Well, they had to sometime. After being abandoned by Solidus, Jack fell for a girl named Rose and eventually got her pregnant.
Oh.
Jack was
for him.
tormented by his past life and sought to right his wrongs by joining a special task force. With them, he teamed up with the legendary Solid Snake to take down some bad guys, destroy giant robots, go streaking, and even kill dear old foster
Thought
dad.
Raiden was
All
bad.
under his awesome new code name, Raiden.
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Except all along, he was actually being controlled by the Patriots, a
course.
secret organization manipulating the U.S. from behind the scenes and bent on dominating the world.
So he.
Yeah, okay,
Kind
hang on
of
to your
bad?
butts, because this is where things start getting out of hand.
Okay.
See, his girlfriend Rose was
confusing.
actually a Patriot spy and was manipulating his life the entire time they were together.
Oh.
Women, right? But she was all like, my bad, I love you. And he was like, it's gay, let me put my dick in you. And then they had a kid.
Well, first she actually said she had a miscarriage and married another man to trick Raiden, but it was really to trick the Patriots.
Which, please, the story is confusing enough without bringing that into this. Eventually, they got back together and had a kid.
Okay.
Please go back to talking about killing people now.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
his abilities.
One day he was captured by the Patriots and used as a test subject for exoskeletal enhancement surgery, transforming him into a superhuman cyborg ninja.
That's what I'm talking about.
As a cyborg, Raiden went from a force to be reckoned with to a nigh unstoppable killing machine. He is fast enough to outrun bullet trains and even run on walls.
And he can do shit
That's
like
pretty
this.
fast.
You too, immortal.
No. I just don't fear death.
He's pretty strong then.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And he can break
Drugs
dance.
must be fun.
That's cool.
That's not even the half of it. Raiden is strong
That was
enough
really
to
cool.
lift and throw a Metal Gear Ray.
Oh.
While a Ray's exact weight is unknown when compared to a Metal Gear Rex, which weighs 557 tons, we can estimate its weight to be over 1,000 tons.
A lot of
And
tons.
that wasn't
over
even
1,000.
his final form.
Right, Raiden eventually got a newer, better cyborg body, which was even more powerful.
Is he just all
Strong enough
robot
to flip
now?
this giant thing, rip
He has
off
a
its
face.
building-sized sword, and then fight a duel with it. And finish it off at blinding speed. I mean, what in the actual hell?
When he's not wielding
This looks
building-sized
excessive.
blades, Raiden wields a high-frequency blade called the Murasama. Originally
Isn't that what
forged in the
Wolverine had
16th
too?
century, the
thought
Murasama
so.
was re-outfitted with high-frequency technology. By creating a powerful current through the blade that vibrates at intense speeds, it weakens its target's molecular bonds, forcibly slicing through almost anything.
And if that's not deadly enough for you, Raiden can activate a super mode
He's running
called
on missiles.
Zendatsu. This causes Raiden's perception of time to slow anywhere from 50 to 90%, giving him plenty of time to chop through his foes as precisely or as rapidly as he'd like.
He can take this a step further by deactivating his pain inhibitors. Allowing
Oh.
intense agony from wounds
can't
to
do that?
envelop his senses
No, I can't.
causes him to lose himself in his old Jack the Ripper personality. This Ripper mode radically boosts his already insane speed and strength.
It seems excessive.
Let's just keep boosting it.
Who's next?
But it
Creepy.
comes at a price. You know, it's
Does he
like
have
the whole
sombrero?
pain and sanity thing.
I think he did that.
These enhanced modes rely on a fuel supply, and using them burns through it at a rapid pace.
Raiden can only carry enough fuel to sustain these modes for a very limited time,
How limited?
and relies on absorbing more fuel cell
Dang
electrolytes
it.
from enemy cyborgs. Plus, his blood is not natural and must
Yeah.
be changed regularly, like the oil in a car.
But still,
frightening. The rain transformed.
Okay.
What did he do?
Worth it.
I don't know. Just electrocuted
All
people.
right, the
Did he have that
combatants are
power? I
set.
didn't
Let's
know.
end this
I don't
debate
know.
once and for
Alright.
all.
Getting ready to
It's
pause
time
it.
for a death battle.
And pause. Well, that was fast. Okay, so let's talk about this.
Yes.
Alright. I still think that Wolverine's going to win.
Yeah.
And here are some of the main reasons why. They did show Raiden to be really powerful, a lot more powerful than I would expect, but some things that jumped out to me. They pointed out that Raiden, in his most powerful forms, which I think would be the best to combat Wolverine, he could only sustain those forms for a limited amount of time, whereas Wolverine, they mentioned...
fight for days.
Yeah, could fight for days.
Right.
Another thing, just kind of tied to his stamina there, or Raiden's stamina, they said that he needed to recharge with, like, something else from other cyborgs, and Wolverine's not a cyborg, so good luck with that,
Right.
and things like that. His sword, like, they showed his more powerful sword, was the same one that I thought Wolverine had, and so...
Yeah, but I don't think
and-
Wolverine's going to be using a sword.
Well, I don't, I'm just saying,
My
too,
thought
like,
is,
he's
so
familiarity
they're saying
with
the
it.
whole monomolecular frequency or whatever, so I can see that as being the reason that it could hurt Wolverine or
Yeah.
cut through adamantium if they consider that
Mhm.
enough. The other thing is they both have Berserker Rages, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I get the feeling they're both going to end up going into that at some point. And then, yeah, I think it would just be a stamina thing.
I think another thing to consider, aside from that, well, one thing, I'll just touch on yours first. Yeah, the monomolecular edge or whatever it was that could split them. I might just be thinking of the roleplay.
Yeah. It was like a frequency
It
thing.
could, yeah, it could have an effect. They said it can cut through most materials, but they also, you know, as we know, adamantium, one of the strongest. They even mentioned how
Right.
Thor could barely break it or whatever. So it still might not be able to. And as fast as Raiden is, if he can't, you know, cut Wolverine, then that's, you know, it doesn't really matter. Especially considering Wolverine, you got to get through the brain pretty much.
You said Wolverine also took on, I don't remember who it was, but that one guy who was supposedly supersonic speed.
Yeah, and
So-
tagged him or however they put it. I didn't know he could move that fast.
I didn't either. I don't know where that's coming from, but sure.
I assume some comic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where all of the super feats come from.
Right.
I had another thing. Experience, because that's a big part. Jack or Raiden, you know, he's had experience since he was 10 years old
Yeah.
and everything. But Wolverine has been fighting for years. He's participated in so many wars. He's gone against a variety of different mutants.
Yeah.
So I think that he does have more experience. And
Probably.
a variety of experience. I'm sure he's fought other people with swords really fast.
He's fought other cyborgs, like,
Yeah,
was it
so...
Omega Red? I think he's a cyborg or something like that.
I mean, because, you know, they obviously, these characters can't know about each other. They can't prepare coming into the death battle, but if they have prior experience, that can certainly come into
should.
play.
Yeah.
So, while Raiden is really impressive, and,
Yeah.
you know, everything, I do think that Wolverine still has it.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, that's about where I'm at,
mean-
too. I think the whole can lift over 1,000 tons is just excessive,
Yeah.
and there's the whole, like, you know, weight versus strength thing that modern metals can't do, but whatever.
It's, yeah.
Unless he's made of beryllium, in which case he'd be toxic to himself, so... Yeah, I don't know.
But I think we're comfortable then saying Wolverine's gonna win?
Yeah, I think so. Especially if it's a battle of endurance.
Yeah, I mean, that could very well be what it comes down to. I think Wolverine has this. Alright, so
Alright.
we're gonna play and play. Let's see.
A cow.
That's not a cow.
I think it's a cow.
No, that's a cow.
No, it's a Raiden. This looks like full cyborg Raiden.
I mean, of course they're gonna go with the best armor and everything available.
Yeah. He seemed confused.
I'm still wondering how Wolverine's gonna come into play.
Sentinel.
Hey, look!
He looks good.
His biceps.
Who the hell are you? Get out of my way. Fat chance, bub. You're next.
Alright, that's all it was.
I don't know who you are, but I'm going to attack you. Wolverine's taking
You see,
a few
received
hits.
flesh wounds, but it didn't go through.
Yeah.
Who? What are you? Gotta admit, that hurt.
Oh, of course, he's got power cells there.
Oh well.
Nice trick, Voltron. I'm actually more human than you. And that's saying something. Let's dance.
Alright, let's see the dancing.
Super speed then.
I have to assume so. Haha, tag! Oh, never mind.
Also blades?
Well, I mean, metal suit, anything could be a blade if it has an edge, right?
Yeah. Oh good, the suit also cleans up the blood. Oh, you can smell it.
Yeah! I wonder when that animal empathy is gonna come into play.
Oh, they got the X slash there. So he's gonna need to find blood.
Oil blood.
Oh! Oh, that was cool. Uppercut off the balcony.
Oh.
I will end you!
Get up!
Are you some kind of cyborg? Well, my bones are covered in the strongest metal around.
Really? I don't
Does
think
that count?
Wolverine with this exposition there.
I'll just have to swing harder then.
I'm not gonna complain about that as long as it doesn't end it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, the sword's just sucking him.
That means that he can pull it out and use it if he wants. Not what I meant.
Well, kind of. It's a lot of pavement.
Oh, ouch. All right, Terminator. Now you've got me mad.
Oh no! It's gonna be Berserker versus the Ripper. Oh!
That's,
I don't think
his
you can throw
arm.
that back.
Good night, RoboCop.
Cut him in half. Nope. Oh, Ripper.
Pain. This is why I fight.
Ow, headbutt.
It's time for Jack the Ripper to let her rip.
You don't have an arm.
Flesh wound.
That was awesome.
Well, alright, we were wrong.
Oh my god.
Because of Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and stubborn healing factor, he was able to hang in there despite Raiden's clearly superior speed and strength.
He could have even kept it up until Raiden ran out of fuel, if it weren't for one important question.
What?
Could the high-frequency blade cut adamantium?
Which
To
is
answer this, we
big
dug
question we
deep
had.
into Marvel Comics history and found Misty Knight, a lesser-known Marvel heroine with a bionic arm made of Antarctic vibranium. This
Vibranium.
anti-metal emanates vibrations which weaken its target's molecular bonds, exactly like Raiden's high-frequency blade. Like the Murasama, this can destabilize and break any metal,
Okay.
including adamantium.
And while in Jack the Ripper mode, Raiden can strike with enough force to cut through buildings and machines built to survive nuclear wars.
With that much
That is
strength
impressive.
and a sword like that, plus Raiden's speed and technology advantage, Wolverine's supposedly indestructible skeleton met its match.
Any way you slice it, Raiden just had the right gear for the job.
The winner is Raiden.
Alright, claps for Raiden. Next time!
Next time on Death
See
Battle.
what it is.
What?
Welcome everyone to today's extravaganza! Well, here he is, worldwide martial arts champion,
It looks like a lot of old anime to me, so. Yeah, it is Dragon Ball though. Okay.
That's just sad.
It sure is. Somebody could have used that bus.
Okay, so it's. Alright. I have no idea who that is, so.
Hey, I'm Chad. I play Boomstick.
I'm Ben.
Hi.
I play Wiz.
Hey guys.
And, what are you doing?
Raiden is pelvic thrusting in victory for killing
It's
for
not pelvic
Wolverine, which
thrust.
was sad.
It's the best he
Hercule
can
is going to
do.
the next death battle. I'm
Nope.
so excited.
Hercule
look,
Satan
Captain
from
Marvel.
Dragon Ball Z is going to be in the
Oh.
next Death Battle
Yeah.
episode, and you can find out who he's going to be facing by sticking to our social media. That's @ScrewAttack on Twitter and official SA on Facebook.
So go
Perfect.
check it
Go
out.
ahead there. Like, follow, do all that fun stuff.
Do it.
And thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. You're going to break it. Tori's going to be pissed.
This isn't even mine.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this then. I will admit right off the bat, I am disappointed.
Yeah,
I thought Wolverine would win, and he didn't, and you know.
I think it came down to kind of what we were talking about, the fact that they considered Muramasa, or whatever his sword is, to be similar to Vibranium.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like what I brought up. Kind of surprised I went with that reference, though, because I think Black Panther has a lot more... Whatever.
was just
in the
Vibranium
Marvel
kind of
universe.
stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's specifically because she said including adamantium, and maybe Panther didn't.
I don't know. Either way, with that, I at least can understand the reasoning behind it. Makes a little more sense. I'm still kind of bummed, but that's because I like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because Raiden's voice doesn't match his body to me, and
It-
that bothers me.
He still
Not
does
like
seem
the
very
voice
young.
acting. Like, even in the game, it just didn't look right to me. But I have no background in the game, so that's
Yeah.
also partially why.
Part of me wants to question it just a little bit because in all the cutscenes showing Raiden, well, not all of them, but often I thought he's very powerful but highly inefficient because he'll chop off arms and then, you know, like cut in half and never like just decapitate right away and everything.
And
And
then here he
so I
does.
almost wonder it decapitates and then straight up goes for the brain, even though that wasn't at all hinted at.
Right,
I'm
he
not
just
saying
kinda knew.
I'm not saying that means Raiden should have lost. I'm just saying that, like, as far as the animation goes, along with, like, the Wolverine random exposition of, like, you know, made of the strongest metal, you know, kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I'm, again, not contesting the fact that Raiden won. I can agree, you know, if his sword could indeed do that, and he is that fast and everything, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
It also seemed, and again, I don't know what his durability is. He took a lot of wounds. I don't think he had an immediate healing factor. Like, I feel like once he takes wounds, they should have stayed, and it just
Yeah.
seems like, Ripper mode aside, I would have thought he would have been a little worse for the wear.
even sometimes with those kinds of modes, Ripper mode, Berserker mode, I can understand ignoring pain, but sometimes the injuries you sustain should
Inhibit
yeah, like, you know, if your arm's cut off, you can ignore that, but it still is gonna bother you.
Yeah, he
Or
had,
like,
6 blades through his stomach, probably his spine.
I also,
But
I don't know if they said it in the sidebar. I would have wanted to know more of Raiden's, like his armor's actual feats or capabilities or whatnot, what it could withstand, because, you know, Wolverine with his adamantium claws cut through them like crazy, and we've seen Wolverine cut through crazy stuff,
yeah,
right?
Sentinels.
So yeah.
The other thing
And
is,
so, you know, with all the slashes, I'd want to know why could, or how could Raiden withstand that, but...
yeah, I know a lot of it was for the sake of brevity. They didn't want the battle to go on forever.
Mhm.
And I think it's because it's depending on which Marvel reference you're going off of. But, you know, they brought up the one fact where Wolverine, he was just a skeleton, he survived, and then regrew, so why couldn't he when his head was chopped off? But then they're also saying the brain is part of it,
Yeah.
so he could suffocate, so it's kind of like just inconsistency in
That-
Marvel, which makes it hard.
That's actually what I was hoping for when his head first got cut off. I wanted Raiden to just walk away, Wolverine to grow back, and then go and kill him. But he went straight for the brain.
Yeah.
So, alas.
I don't know.
Anything more to add?
No, it was a good fight. It was a really good animation.
Yeah.
I really liked how they did it. It was a cool fight, so can't be that upset about it.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite animation. More, I think, in terms of the story that it had, because some others, they're like
Actually, some background to
Snake
it.
versus, you know, Sam Fisher. That one was fantastic because, you know, while the animation was, again, superb, it was 3D and everything by the same person, Tori, and you do an awesome job. It also had, you know, a good story where they both were at that base for a reason. Sorry if you can hear the cat. They're both at the base for a reason, and they're both, like, fighting for a reason, too.
Yeah.
This one, Wolverine killed the guy, and then Raiden's like, I don't like you. And then...
Yeah, which at least kind of sounds like Wolverine, potentially. But yeah, I think they just wanted to skip the exposition and go to the fighting.
Yeah, and I just like that story element, and so I'll point it out. The animation still looked really good. It had really awesome moments, and you know, overall, really nice. I liked it. It was just that little bit. Like, if I could offer one improvement, it would be, you know, make a little more sense of it. That's all. That's all it'd be.
But no, and I also will say I liked the Terminator and RoboCop references.
Those were
made me happy.
fun. Yep. All right.
Yeah, good.
I'm good. You good?
Yeah, it was a good battle.
All right, we're calling it here. So with all that, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot. It really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for my next video. And until then, take care. Cue outro, go!